what it is eastern Arkansas, southeast Missouri. All right, the topography of an area, the topography of an area, some interference issues that happen around airports, microwave towers, certain other things seem to affect this more. All right, I have seen people run up to 10 miles away from a fixed base station. I've seen them not be able to get more than a mile away from one, and really it's kind of a crapshoot. In Heat's instance, I don't think we could get farther than a mile away from it without having any issue. Am I true there?
Yeah, and we even had issues at a half, but then turn around and we get further away, and it seemed like it did better. But then we tried some stuff last year at maybe 2 3/4, and wound up having to go to a mobile base, and it fixed all of our problems.
Yeah. Right now, Russ, it's kind of a it's just test, see where you're at, and if you can work with it, then go ahead and work with it, because it's going to save you $12,000. If you can't, well then you back up and punt and you go with a mobile base station, which you absolutely know beyond a shadow of a doubt is going to work.
Right.
I think I asked you before, I can't remember, but with his monitors that come in them tractors right now, he buys a pan and the system. The old laser, that's what I was used to, is flag row. You flag everything off. With that system, do you just basically your high and your low, and you cut, and you can see it on the screen where to dump at, or how does that work?
Yes, you actually see a topo map. There's a couple different ways you can go about it. All right. One is to just do a point-to-point leveling situation, where you say, I'm going to bench out at this elevation, and then I'm going to go down a step down here to the end of my field, and I'm going to bench in right there. It's going to give you an average slope, basically, and then you can go from there. You won't have a topo map on the screen with you in that situation. However, if you go out and you actually do the prep work, survey the field, get the topo done, then design it, then absolutely you will have that with you, whether you design it at the house or whether you design it on screen.
And like we said earlier, you can topo the field just doing pretty much any type of field work. You're doing pulling the land plane or pulling a disc, you can survey the field in that.
That plug-in is available to you at any time.
I don't know if y'all have heard of Light Squared.
How'd you get that?
I don't know if
Oh, you
y'all
changed the
heard any
elevation. I got you.
news about it, and if it's coming, or is it really going to mess up with the GPS?
You're a John Deere guy too, aren't you? Didn't you say? Yeah. Unfortunately, from everything I've seen so far on the forums, all right, and I'm not very well read on Light Squared, okay, but from what I can tell, John Deere is more running scared from this whole Light Squared issue than we are. I think it's because Light Squared is going to affect their range of where their signal is, okay, more so. Now, don't quote me on this 100%, okay, but basically everybody was allotted a band, okay, a certain amount of band. They bought this area, but because nobody was using over into here, they kind of bled over and kept bleeding over and kind of letting people use this. Well, now this is actually being bought by folks like Light Squared and things of that nature, okay, and that's basically where it is. It's going to take up some channels that weren't, that were available to us before, but aren't going to be available to us now. That's the main thing. However, that, like I said, right now from what I see, it's more of a John Deere issue than a Trimble issue or a Topcon issue.
What is Light Squared? It's been about a year since I've heard that. What is
Light Squared is going to try to give basically global. It is basically going to try to give you internet.
Oh, okay.
Wireless, satellite beam, wireless internet at a decent speed.
The FCC is next to that, though, haven't they?
Yes, they have.
Okay.
Yes, they have. They're coming back. I mean, they're not dead. They spent an awful lot of money, to not. But yeah, for right now, yeah, it's a dead issue. But I've heard everything in my travels. Okay, over the last 8-9 years, I've heard all sorts of mess. I had a customer call me up once 4 or 5 years ago. Do you remember we shot a Patriot missile up and we knocked out a satellite that was,